I first started playing accordion, my sister had a button accordion, and when she used to get out of the way, when she sort of messed off to work, I was only a little boy, I thought, so I'm going to get that accordion, see if I can have a go on it. And I kept tinkling about with it, and I thought to myself, well, she always played Now the Day's Over. And I thought, so I'm going to have a go at that. And I messed about with one hand, kept to me, and I gradually got so I played Now the Day Is Over. Then I tried God Save the Queen, King, because that was King in them days, and because in the end I learned to play that, and I finally got started, you see, yeah, and then I just, well, I told her, I said, I can play your accordion, Nellie. So you can't? I said, I can. She said, I used to leave that alone. I said, no. I said, I can play that. I can play Now the Day Is Over. She said, go on then. And I played it. And after that, she let me play it, you see. And that's how I started off. And then later on, I can't remember how I come by it, but I think my father had one. Whether he used to play, I don't know, he had one with these little old stop things on here, a little tiny one. And I got that. And I used to play that, and I gradually got better. So I played different songs, you know, and that's how I started off. Eh? And then of course I used to go in the pub occasionally and have a few beers, and I end up sitting on the floor very often, playing it, you see, and that, you know. And then I used to stop, because I couldn't play and sing, I wish I could. And then of course I used to start and give them a song, and of course they used to keep on to me then, come over there and give us a song after. And that's how it all come about, you see. Yeah. Went to Bromeswell Charity, you see. And I used to build Bromeswell Charity. And then of course I used to go to the dances, the deals when I had on the village hall. I used to act on the stage. I used to sing well the pram on the stage, and I had a gal in the pram, a gal about 16 or 17, and I had her in a big old, one of them old-fashioned prams, and I had a khaki handkerchief for a napkin hang on the thimmy, and I used to sing well the pram John, and when I'd finished I used to say, well, I got to change the nappy now, see, because they used to laugh, I used to love that, you see. And I remember going to Oak Village Hall, and they'd got a dance or something up there, where they used to have the music centre and play records, you see, Victor Sylvester and all that. And of course, my grandfather's name was Corky King, my father's name was Corky King, my brother's, and it come on me, see? So the bloke who's in charge of this, he said, Corky? I said, yes. He said, they craze me, they keep wanting you to sing a song. He said, and I've given in the end, he said, but you can sing a song, but keep it clean, otherwise you're out. He said, because I'm not having it, he said, none of them dirty ones you sing. And he said, like in the end I got up there and sang well the Bromeswell or bound to be a row. they loved it. And another night I went up there, I know it's very naughty what we used to do. I mean, we used to go up that bombing range up Sutton Heath, go up that old bombing range up there, and that's practice bombing. All the Lanhams used to come along, drop in smoke bombing. Well, we went up there, we found one of these unexploded bombs, and we took it to bits, and they got all black powder in. So we bought a packet of Craven A cigarettes, right, because they're the only ones that got tips then, and we got a needle, and we pulled the bag out. Some of them we put some of this powder in, and then we put the bag back in nice and tightly, and we put some of them in a special packet, and me and this other boy, we went up to the dance up there, and we started handing these fags. They would say, would you like a fag? We made sure and give them the ones with the tips. Because then we got chucked out, because they went off and a cloud of smoke went up. That was daft. When I think I had to die, it was dangerous one. And see, and of course we got chucked out. Said, get out, you know, and that's dangerous. So that's the thing you do with it. Never mind. I'll get another tune, should I? 1940 when the evacuees were down here from London, from the war. Now I'll sing you a song, should I? It's a lovely night for sport. I thought to take a walk all the way to Camberwell to see what could be bought. A man was selling burs, he had a lively stock. I handed him a half a crown, he handed me his cock-a-doodle-doo. None to do with you, it's a jolly fun cock and you all know what it's me cock-a-doodle-doo. Now I took me wife a-fishing in the boat. I hadn't got very far before the boat began to rock. A steamer passing by gave me a hell of a shock, and I fell in the water and the fish got out of me cock-a-doodle-doo. None to do with you, it's a jolly fine cock and you all know what's me cock-a-doodle-doo. Now me friends, I must be going, I can no longer stay, for while I'm singing you a song I ought to be miles away. But just before I go to take me lively stock, is there any young lady in this room would like to see me cock-a-doodle-doo? It's none to do with you, a jolly fine cock and you all know what's me cock-a-doodle-doo. I mean, that's a bit dirty in it, but I can't help it. That's the way I'm made, you see. I do sing these dirty songs. Yeah, I can't help it. That's the way I'm made. That wasn't done in my father's day. Good God Almighty, that'd have been... Oh, he wouldn't have had me in the house. He used to come over from Butley House, the old boys, the Cayley boys, and the boy Pettit, and the boy, I can't think his name, Charity. And then poor beggar, he got killed, went down the pit with a tractor and got killed outright. But we all went in there, and they used to love me coming in there directly if I was late coming down. And when I did open the door, they used to shout, "Cheers, where you been, you bugger, you?" And I used to say, oh, I had something to do with them. And I used to say, come on, what are you going to have? I said, before I knew where I was, I'd have 3 or 4 small bottles lined up on the table. I say, and I used to sit down, I say, come on then, let's have a song. I said, why I start off with the chimney sweep song. Do you know it? I'll be up your way next week, I will, I'll be up your way next week. I'm so busy with the neighbour's flu, only got one brush can do. Two now poor Mrs. Moore lived next door, fairly off a dot. She sent her chimney smoke in a matrimonial way. I'll be up for flu next week, I will, I'll be up for flu next week. I'll bring my little brush, I'll be there with a rush, I'll be up her way next week. I used to all sing on Bromeswell stage. I used to sing out on Bromeswell stage. I used to craze me, the old women did, to sing that. And then Cherry, and I'll sing it now. I'm a poor unhappy married man, I have an awful wife. Do all I can to please her and still she plague my life. Now if I do everything that's right, she'll find a fault somehow. Now if I should stay out late at night, there's bound to be a row. Bound to be a row, there's bound to be a row. Do all you like to please your wife, there's bound to be a row. Now she wakes me up in the morning in such an awful way. She kicks me on the floor and not a dick word do I say. I have to do my washing, her shirts and my shirts and fronts I vow. And if I don't wash all hers as well, there's bound to be a row. Bound to be a row, there's bound to be a row. Do all you like to please your wife, there's bound to be a row. Now she's taken in a lodger, he's single by and by. She says you must make room for him, so on the sofa I lie. They eat the meat to give me the bone, it don't seem right somehow. But if I should say just half a word, there's bound to be a row. Bound to be a row, there's bound to be a row. Do all you like to please your wife, there's bound to be a row. Now I bring home all my wages after working all a week. I lay down every penny and then she have the cheek. She give me 2pence for myself and which I have to bow. And if I should spend it all at once, there's bound to be a row. Now my father's brother, who I was named after, Arthur, and they used to call him Kinger, because his name was King, but that was the name he went, was Kinger. He used to, when he moved down from London, he settled down back to his native Bromeswell, and he lived up the red houses at Bromeswell, up the top of the Hall's Hill, and he used to always come down to the Bromeswell Cherry, which he used to go in there when he was a boy in the old days, see? And he used to meet some of the old men, well, his age, that retired then, who he used to come across, where he knew when he was a boy. And they used to say, Kinger, give us a rat-tat-tat. I said, and he used to sing his song, and in the end I picked it up off him. I listened to him, times he sang it, I listened to him, and I learned it. I said, and I'll sing it you now, look. When I was a master's servant, I used to have such fun, and mind me master's business when he was not at home. Now if me master should go out to view the fields all day, I was always there, me rat-a-tat, it was eve of a night of a day, it was eve of a night of a day. Now it happened on one Thursday, to market my master did go. He asked me to mind his business, as servants all should do. As soon as my master's back was turned, I blundered out of the barn. I was up at the door, me rat-tat-tat, and sure I thought no harm. Yes, and sure I thought no harm. Who should come to the door but my mistress? She bade me to come in. When I complained of the bellyache, she ordered me some gin. She bade me drink it up, me boy, and never a word to say. 'Cause I was there, me rat-a-tat-tat, to bed we went straightway. Yes, to bed we went straightway. Now me mistress and I lay sporting for 3.5 hours and more. Mistress enjoyed the sport so well I thought she'd never give o'er. You won my heart forever, she cried. No more the master for me, for he can't come over his rat-tat-tat, not half so well as thee, no, not half so well as thee. Now me master came from market, and he asked me how I got on. I told him I'd mind his business, as servants all should know. He ordered me old ale, me boy, but little did he know that I'd been there, me rat-a-tat-tat. If he had, he'd never done so. If he had, he'd never done so. Father never sang no day songs. He never used to swear, and that wouldn't have done. It wouldn't have done for us to use the word damn. If we used that was upstairs to bed, upstairs. I don't have that talk in this house. And my father was a very, very strict man. He was too strict. I'll tell you that now. He was too strict. He was frightened sometimes, but you see, that was in the 30s, and I was born 26, year the general strike, and it was hard for him bringing up. There was eight or 9 on us. Of course, it was hard for it. Well, he made me an egg for breakfast. And of course, they used to talk them days different than now. They used to talk babies to the kids. They used to say like GGs and things like that. Well, he said to me this here morning, he said Sunday morning, he said, "Hey, Arthur," he said, "I made you a turkey egg for breakfast. I cut all them there bits into soldier pieces. Now I want you to eat all that up. I don't want to see nothing left on your plate. I don't want no ice. I won't you won't get down the table until you'd ate everything with him." So, of course, I had it all up, bloody shelling all dinner, because I didn't leave it there, because he told me to eat everything up, and I never lived it down then. I had put up with all that for bloody years, didn't I, from that. And another thing about my father, he was that strict. Freddie's, my nephew Freddie, his mother, when she first went courting, she caught a bloke from Wickham, right? Bloke by the name of Fred Harvey. And she said to my mother, she said, "Mother," she say, "do you reckon I can bring Fred home to tea Sunday?" "Oh," she say, "I don't know about that," she say. "You'll have to wait till the end of the week," she say. "See what sort of mood father's in. Not, if he ain't had a very good day at work, he won't be in a very good mood. I daren't ask him yet. You wait. Wait until, say, Saturday morning, just say. So that comes Saturday." She say to mother, she say, "What about Dad, sir?" I asked him about Fred coming to tea. "Well," she say, "Yes, I think so. He seemed in a pretty good mood. Yeah, I should have asked him." So she said to him, "Dad, He said, yes, dear. He said, she said, is that all right if I bring my boyfriend Fred home to tea Sunday night? He went quiet for a minute, and all of a sudden said, what you say? So she said, she was right scared. She said, can I bring my boyfriend Fred home to tea Sunday night? So I said, hey, quiet again, wait a little while. Then all of a sudden he answered, he said, well, yes, I suppose so, but you can tell him to come in backwards, and then if I don't like him, he'll be right back on out. Anyway, they had an old lady lived next door to us, so father rented a house for her, Mrs. Nunn, right? And there used to be a coalman come round there, George Hall. And of course, old Mrs. Nunn used to like yapping one thing and another. She used to be nosy, you want to know this, want to know that. And of course, old Mrs. Nunn, she was yapping one day outside the door. He got his sack there and put the coal, and he kept yapping her, and every time he kept saying this and that, she kept saying, oh, fancy that. Oh, fancy this. Really, George, fancy that. And father was in the shed. He thought, her, and that's bloody fancy. So he stuck his head round the corner. He said, Mrs. Nunn. She said, yes, Fred. He said, do you know the height of fancy? She said, no, Fred, I'm afraid I don't. What is it? He said, well, stick a feather up your arse and fancy you're a peacock. At the terrace, that's a bit of a long one, but it's pretty good. Well, I'll tell you, my father, he worked for a farm out at Bromeswell way somewhere anyway, and they kept pigs. Well, the farmer said to him, Fred, I want you to go and take a couple of pigs down to Melton slaughterhouse to Blossers. Take them to the slaughterhouse this morning. He said, you got the old pig cart, which was very low, and put in that horse. Away father went. He took the pigs down to the slaughterhouse, and on the way back, he come over Welford Bridge. That was that old bridge now, before the new one was built. He come over Welford Bridge, and as he got over, just over the other side of the bridge, he see an old man walking along there with 100 weight of taters on his back. So he thought, well, good the heck, I saw George Smith from Sutton there. What was he doing them taters? So he pulled up beside on the car. He said, "Mon George," he said, "Mon Fred," he said, "where you calling them taters?" He said, "Well, hum." He said, "Hum." He said, well, you ain't going to Sutton or carting them all the way to Sutton, eh?" He said, "It's over 5 miles, 5 or 6 miles. "Of course I am," he said. "How the heck do you think I'm going to get him out if I can't get him home otherwise?" He said, "I'll get you in this cart, I'll give you a ride, I'm going through the Bordsey." So he got in the cart. Well, father never looked over his shoulder to me, never looked right round the moor. He sat there talking away, got the reins in his hand to the old horse, and they were talking over the shoulder. He kept saying, father kept saying about the weather and the crops and different things that was happening. They were chatting away. Well, they finally got to Sutton Plough. Father said, "Hey, George," he said, "where do you live? Whereabouts do you live?" He said, "That there house up that sort," she said, "just up there on the left, Fred." He said, "You've dropped me there." So father said, "Right." So he pulled up beside the coys. He turned round. He said, "George," he turned round. He looked. That old man, he'd still got them taters on his ready back. Sitting round taters on his back. So father said to him, "Oh, God, George," he said, "you still got them taters on your back. Why ever didn't you put them in the cart?" "Oh, no, George," he said. "Fred," he said, "damn good of you to give me a ride. I didn't want you to carry the taters as well." "Oh, well, the perambulator, John, be careful how you go. Now don't get roiled and mind the child and wheel it nice and slow. And when you turn the corner or if you cross the road, just cock your front wheel up a bit or so, but go your load. First time I took the baby out, I wheeled her in a pram. Turned the damn thing upside down, I never know where I am. I had the baby's head, I took a bit off his nose, and now I'm afraid to go home because I'm afraid of me life to move. So will the Premier John, be careful how you go. Now don't get roiled and mind the child and wheel it nice and slow. And when you turn the corner or if you cross the road, just cock your front wheels up a bit or so go your load. Now if you have a daring wife, get her in a boat. Take her up the river and see if she will float. If she go up and down 3 times, you can sit and think. Just take your oars and row a bit and leave the old bugger to sink. Go well, the Premier John, be careful how you go. Now don't get roiled and mind the child and wheel it nice and slow. When you turn the corner or if you cross the road, cock your front wheel up a bit or so go your load. Now if you have the toothache, don't suffer it with pain. Don't go to the dentist, that's a soppy game. Fill your mouth with a little water and mix with castor oil and sit upon the fire till the bugger begin to boil. Oh, will the Premier John, be careful how you go. Don't get roiled and mind the child and wheel it nice and slow. And when you turn the corner or if you cross the road, cock your front wheel up a bit or so go your load. At Christmas time, my cousin used to come down from London. Well, he was very fond of my father, very, very fond of my father. That was my father's oldest sister's son, and he thought the world of him. He's buried in Bromeswell churchyard, by the way. Anyway, he thought the world of him. He was in the First World War, and when he came out of the First World War, I don't know what happened, but he fell out with his father. They didn't get on, and he walked right away from London down to Bromeswell to see my father. Walked all that way to there, and when he said to my father, he said, "Fred, Uncle Fred," he said, "when I'm going to walk back to London, and when I go back," he said, "I'm going to get on a boat. I'm going to work my passage. I'm going to go out to Bermuda," he said, "and see if I can make some money," which he did. And before he went back, my father gave my cousin Elf a shilling, right, for luck. And Freddie, who lives here, has got that shilling to this day. He's still got the shilling, and that, anyway. And he went to Bermuda, and he came back, and he came back, he made money, he bought houses in London, he bought 1 or 2 in Melton, so he'd done all right for himself. And every Christmas he used to come down after that, always came to us at Christmas. And this song is a song my father used to sing to him, right? He used to sing, "What glorious hearts anticipate each glorious Christmas night, when boys and girls assemble round, whose logs are burning bright. But Christmas bring no joy to me, nor pleasure can but heal. For he who owns my heart lies dead upon the battlefield. From out to Egypt far he went, to fight for England's men. Before he left he bade to me that his heart would be the same. As months rolled on I watched for him with joy and with delight. No soldier came to cheer my heart that lonely Christmas night. For a soldier brave was he, and he sailed across the sea. His heart he gave to me that night when he went away from home. He fought the foes of England, was foremost in the fight, and he died upon the battlefield that lonely Christmas night. At last his soldier comrade came, and he bid me not despair, and all he brought of my true love was but a lock of hair. My true love, like an Englishman, had fallen in the fight, and died upon the battlefield that lonely Christmas night. Right? That's a really old one, it is. It's going back. Another one of his songs he used to sing was about the sailor. The sailor boy was on a dark and stormy night. The snow lay on the ground. A sailor boy stood on the quay, his ship was outward bound. His sweetheart standing by his side shed many a silent tear, and as he pressed her to his breast, he whispered in her ear, "Farewell, farewell, my own true love, this parting gives me pain. I'll be your own true guiding star till I return again. My thoughts shall be of you, when the storms are raging high. Farewell, farewell, remember me, your faithful sailor boy." Now in the gale the ship set sail, she watched her love, waved her love goodbye. She watched the craft while out of sight till the tears came to her eye. She prayed to God in heaven above to guide him on his way, and the very parting words that night re-echoed all the bay. "Farewell, farewell, my own true love, this parting gives me pain. I'll be your own true guiding star when I return again. My thoughts shall be of you, when the storms are raging high. Farewell, farewell, remember me, your faithful sailor boy." Sadly to say that ship returned without a sailor boy. He died whilst on that boy's fire the flag was half-mast high. His comrades who had came on shore told her that he was dead. In a letter that he wrote to her, the last words sadly read, "Farewell, farewell, my own true love, on earth we'll meet no more. Soon I shall be from storm and sea on that eternal shore. I hope I'll meet you in that land beyond the skies, where you will not be parted from your faithful sailor boy." Well, I was a bit of lad in my young days, because I worked on the farm in my early days, worked on the farm. Worked down Oak St Farm, you see, in my early days, with horses. I loved horses, and that wasn't until I got rid of horses and brought tractors in, and they wouldn't, when you said, well, they wouldn't stop at the end. So I thought, back of this, I'll get out, and I went in the building trade. But, you know, that's beside the point. Anyway, I got on with the old farm bailiff, and some days he used to say to me, he'd say, "Young King?" I say, "Yes." He'd say, "I'll come back to you in a minute. I'll just give the other men orders." He said, "I want to see you afterwards." So I used to wait, and he used to say, "I want you to go and harness old Club up, get him in the cart." He said, "I'll just go and have my breakfast." He said, "I'll come back, and I want you to drive me around the farm, visit all the men, and see all the crops." So I said, "Righto." So I done what he said, harnessed old Club up, and put him in the cart, and the old man come out. He used to sit beside the cart with his old pipe on, scent burning into smoke. I used to have my pipe, count the shake, I used to smoke, and we used to sit there, and I used to go along there singing away, and one thing and another, singing a song, say. One song I sang to him, he couldn't believe it. He say, "I hadn't heard that since I was a boy." And that was, "The greatest city in this world is London. At least that's what the wealthy people say. It's very nice for some, they always get the plum, but I only get what the others throw away. While London sleeps and all its lamps are gleaming, millions of its people, they lay peacefully sleeping. Some have no homes, others their watch are keeping, others love and play the game, while London's fast asleep." One night when it was cold and it was snowy, there came a big girl walking through the snow. She looked so tired and worn, a baby at her breast, and her feet sank deeply in the snow. While London sleeps and all its lamps are gleaming, millions of its people, they lay peacefully sleeping. Some have no homes, others their watch are keeping. Others love and play the game while London's fast asleep. No, that's right. Well, then I sang it to him, and I singing it, and he said to me, well, I don't know, young king, wherever did you know that song? He said, I had heard that since I was a boy, and he was well in his 60s, and then he said, my father used to sing it to me. Anyway, few weeks later, one of the blokes come up on the phone to me, say, you know what Fish say about you, do he? He said to me, Fish said to me the other day, you know, I can't help liking that young king, but the things he commits, I don't think he's altogether the thing. When I walked down Oak St Farm as a boy, and in the end I first go all over to lead the horse for the horse hound. Then in the end, as I got a little bit older and more confident, they put me, so I used to be the one who done the hound and had the girl lead the horse over me, right? And one day I was holding a carrots, hell of a job to see 'em, all the rubbish, and I was holding these carrots, and all of a sudden I turned and I see Jim Man come in the field, come walking in the field, and I was up the other end of the field, and he walking about the field, the carrots, and looking at the row, and all of a sudden he disappeared, and we carried on walking. I said, later on, Fisk, the farm boy, have come up there, he said,